It was long ago and it was far away. Yeah, and it was so much better than it is today. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice coming to you live from the studios of 4680Q, downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, across from the Meteor Crater. Your City, Your Voice says it right up there. I got my sign today, so everything is going good on this beautiful, beautiful, finally Friday morning before Thanksgiving. We're there, everybody. October the 10th month, 10th day, 2025. Oh, yeah, doesn't get better than that. 1010. And bad thing is we slipped into the 40s last night. Yeah, I got up at 5:30 this morning, and it was like 47 degrees out, a little bit nipply out there. It's getting there. We're getting there. We know what's coming. I mean, there's no way we can get around that. That's just the way it is. Can't help you there. I was pretty quick is what I want to say. Pretty, a pretty quick change in the weather. That's what I want to say. But what I want to say doesn't always come out the way that I want to say it. Ken Hunter could be a problem name every once in a while, too. Hen something. But we went from Miami to Nome in a day. But the air is fresh. The leaves are falling. We head to Halloween. Oh boy, I like Halloween. We're in a high pressure system for the weekend, it seems like. Hopefully it is, and we won't get any inclement weather over the weekend for Thanksgiving. Everybody can enjoy really the last long weekend before we hit Christmas. If you think about it, this is it. This is it. The end of the road for long weekends until Christmas. But here we are. Here we are. Here we are, and we got a nice day out there, so I have no complaints about that. Feeling a little better today. Yesterday morning, I was a little bit on edge. A little bit on edge because the Habs got beat by those pesky Toronto Maple Leafs. And it's never a good day the next day when Montreal loses, especially to the Leafs. But hey, they made up for it last night. They gave the Motown Wings a beat down 5-1 last night. Played great. So that makes for better waking up in the morning than it does when you lose to the Loafs the night before. And speaking of fall, speaking of the winter, speaking of the weather, we know where all this is going. I mean, it's going to happen. We can't help it. Get your car over to Wild Bill's Auto Repair Body Shop. Why? Because you know what's going to happen in a few months. And you don't want to be stuck in that cold November rain with your car broke down. I mean, it just makes perfect sense. Be proactive, not reactive. Get the Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and get your car checked over. Ken's going to take care of it. He's going to check it over, make sure all systems are go so you don't break down. You got to have a good defroster. You got to have good brakes. You got to have those snow tires on. You got to have your car running right. And you've got to make sure that at the end of the day, you're not breaking down on the side of the road. That's being proactive. That's the way you do it. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership, wildbillsauto.ca. Get in there. Get your car checked out. Make sure your heaters are working. Everything's working tip top. You don't want to break down. Now, while you're at wildbillsauto.ca, seeing the beautiful services they provide to everybody, why not just swing over to YouTube, go to my channel, Paul Lemire, or Your City, Your Voice, find it, and subscribe to it. It costs you nothing, not one red cent to subscribe. You're going to get notifications when I drop a show, and I drop one every day at around 3 o'clock, before 3 usually. If you prefer to listen to it live, of course, you can listen to it on 4680q.com on the internet. But if you want to see the video, it's there too. You can see some of my antics on the video. Why not? Come on, like it, comment on it, Go crazy. Go crazy. Get everybody involved. The more the merrier to this party. I'm just gearing up to the election in a year so that we can get the city council that we want, not the city council that 27% of the voters in Niagara Falls gives us. That makes sense. It's your tax money, right? Okay. Don't forget about my other two sponsors, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue and Hamill Machine Company, which we're going to get to later on in the show. So where do we start? Well, let's start with some viewer comments. I had a new commenter, a new gentleman commenter, and at Elliot for MP. And he says, we need more politicians who will tell the truth regardless of what it means to their pocketbook. Well, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth, right? I got Peter Dychtiar standing out here. He wants to come in. I don't know why. Let's see. I don't plan on him being here, but let's see what happens here. Hold it. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Why not? Hey, guess we got a surprise guest here. Let me just run the camera over here, but Peter is going to have to share a microphone or use this microphone or something because I haven't planned for him to come in here. Next week, he's coming in for show number 600. That's the big celebration. But while we got him here, hey, it's always good to hear what Peter Dychtiar has to say.
I apologize.
Well, don't apologize. Sit down and start talking. Save me some time, man. Okay, what I'm talking about now, we'll get into some comments here. Let me get you set up. This is awesome. I love having guests, but it's just a little bit more crazy when you have a guest because you're not set up for this.
It's live, right?
It's live, yeah. This proves that it's live.
And as my good buddy George Emery always said, I'm on Victor time. But honestly, truthfully,
I didn't think you were coming in, so this is a pleasant surprise for me. There you go. You're all set up, I believe. I'm just going to give you a wiener slider here, and
check 1, 2. Hey, am I there?
You're there.
Okay.
Well, some say you aren't all there, but you're there.
Yes.
I think they can hear you. I can hear you definitely. Your mic's working. Everything seems to be okay here. Okay, so what I'm doing is just talking about some comments for now.
Okay.
So Peter, they can't see you very good. I apologize. There's not much you can do. I usually have the other stand, but
yeah, that's good.
But they'll hear you over there as long as they can see that beautiful face.
So one quick thing,
Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
One quick thing. I'm late as usual, right? But again, I had people coming in doing quotes on replacing 2 back doors.
Oh, okay.
Now it's insane. I don't want to buy a new house. I just want 2 back doors put in. Prices are incredible.
No, I mean this is.
What has Canada done? What's happened here?
Well, we have carnage.
Ah, yes, Chilicon carnage. There's the answer.
You can't make a deal with Trump. He went to there to make a deal with Trump. He couldn't get a deal, but he wore a red tie to make Trump happy.
You got to open your mouth to make a deal, right?
Exactly.
You can't just sit there like this.
I know. He's. I'll talk about him in a minute later on the show. But that's why your door prices are high. And, never mind door prices. Even to get a little job done, it's very, very hard to get anybody in because they don't want to do little jobs anymore.
No, they don't.
They don't want to do little jobs anymore. So luckily, if you have somebody who does that or whatever,
just
then you're
2 steel doors. That's it. Just 2 steel doors in my backside of my house. I don't want to buy a new house.
Why would you? When you just need 2 doors.
But I mean, if you buy the 2 doors, you're buying a whole new house. I can get a mortgage for it.
Yeah. It's not cheap anymore. Okay, so Elliot for MP said, we need more politicians who will tell the truth regardless of what it means to their pocketbook. And I said, well, isn't that the truth? The pocketbook, what they're getting paid in that should have nothing to do with any of their decisions. What it should have to do is what's doing right for the taxpayers.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It is. That's why you need terms on who's sitting in office.
Term limits, anybody.
I hate to say it because A lot of my good friends are in politics. I've worked with them. I've helped them get in, but terms are where it is. It can happen to anybody, the best of the best of the best. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, can you, and then it's hay is so big that you can't make hay anymore.
Well, it's that familiarity, right? Once you get to know people and you kind of become friends with them and you work with them, once you get to that point, they start asking for favors.
Yeah.
And it's hard not,
Starts with a little one, though.
It starts with just a little one.
Yeah.
You only need this little minor variance. And then before you know it, they got a big sign up saying Hard Rock Cafe that's never been approved or anything.
Yeah.
That's the way it progresses. You give these developers that an inch and they take a mile. And then they expect it. And then when you say no, like they did to the firefighters, no, we're moving the dispatch. They want to sue you.
I know.
They've given the firefighters every friggin' thing in the book over all the years, a $3 million truck, new stations, you name it, they get what they want. And the first time city council says we're moving dispatch to save the taxpayers $1.5 million, they're going to sue the city. See, this is what I mean, this happens. Get rid of them all. And I would sick Jason Burgess on him. I said that yesterday, right? So, Elliot, you're right. We need more politicians who tell the truth. Okay, Elliot for MP. I always love hearing your thoughts, Paul. I may not always agree 100%, but I always respect your opinion and thoughts, whether it's politics or food.
Yes, you are the food meister.
I'm the food meister, right? So I go, thanks, Elliot. I appreciate your feedback. Open dialogue is good. And I added to that, whether you agree or not. Being Charlie is better than being physical. And you know what I mean by that.
Yes.
Charlie Kirk was about dialogue. And he didn't always agree with everybody, but he made his point and let them make their point rather than getting into a physical altercation over some opinion. Getting things done is about compromise. Compromise comes through open dialogue. And that's basically it. There you go, Elliot. You're absolutely right again. And Derek Elliott is a libertarian that was nominated as the first ever Libertarian Party candidate for Nipissing.
Wow.
So he lives up in North Bay.
Yeah.
Way back in 2014. It was a historic nomination because they never had a Libertarian nominated before. I could have this wrong. I didn't use AI, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Ray Lyle
you thought that was bad.
turtles in Mexico. So, but if I do, Derek, please correct me, and I'll correct it on the show. Thanks so much for your comments. Really appreciate all the comments. And that's about it. So we're approaching Thanksgiving weekend this weekend.
We're here.
And next week's a short week because I'm taking Monday off. And on Friday, you're coming in again.
Yes.
Because the 600th show...
That won't be a surprise this time.
That won't be a surprise. The 600th show is going to be interesting because that's a lot of shows.
That's a ton of shows.
And Peter's been here for 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and now 600. But
we're now 25 years older.
Yeah. But he's headed to Florida the next week when I actually celebrate my 600th. So he's going to come in on Friday to talk about 600 and that kind of thing. Interesting. So, Thanksgiving weekend in Canada, Peter. A lot of people ask me, what do Canadians celebrate on Thanksgiving? I mean, we don't have Pilgrim landing at the Plymouth Rock, eating wild turkeys.
No, we don't.
Right? So, the Elbows Up crowd, if you ask them, they'll tell you we're thankful we're not American.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you guarantee they're going to say that.
Yeah, 100%. I've heard it all week. Whoa. Trump is all the woes of Canada. Whatever happened to the 10 years of Trudeau and a year of carnage?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's only been 4 months of carnage.
Oh, it feels like a year.
4 or 5.
It feels like 3 years.
It feels like 10 years. It's like 20 years of nonsense. But the answer really is we celebrate Thanksgiving to express gratitude for the blessings of the year, particularly the bountiful harvest, and celebrate that by hanging with family and friends. The holiday has indigenous roots and their harvest traditions celebrated with early European settlers. One Sir Martin Frobisher. You heard of Frobisher Bay?
Yes, Frobisher Bay, yeah.
Held one of the earliest celebrations with the natives in 1578.
Not that long ago.
Yeah, in what is now Nunavut. They had it in Nunavut. They called it. Now. Canadian Parliament declared Thanksgiving a national holiday in 1879, and in 1957 officially designated the second Monday in October Thanksgiving Day for general thanksgiving to Almighty God for the bountiful harvest with which Canada has been blessed. And that's why Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving. And you notice that they said, which Thanksgiving to Almighty God.
Yeah. And that's
And
they're probably going to take that out of there eventually.
well, see, and this is the thing, it's like our country is based on Christianity. And even our forefathers, the people who came and discovered Canada and who celebrated Thanksgiving, gave thanks to God. And now people want to change that, and that's where the troubles are starting to come in this country.
Yeah, no, I mean, Judeo-Christian values are what built this country, and then we had a bunch of people who immigrated and created a beautiful culture, just an absolutely beautiful culture in Canada. And now it's up for grabs. You can't say Merry Christmas. I'm surprised. I mean, I'm sure that from Parliament Hill, it won't be thanking God for the bountiful harvest.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. Just because. I mean, and the sad part is we're not changing it. It's going to be getting worse over the years if we don't get rid of this DEI and woke stuff. Good thing in the United States, Trump has taken the United States back to the Judeo-Christian values.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They're going back to Christian values, getting rid of DEI, getting rid of this woke nonsense, cleaning up these cities where illegals from outside of the country are taking over, and getting back to having God in people's lives. And you don't have to be a Christian or born again or any of that stuff to be able to understand that Christian values are good moral values.
That's all there is. That's it. Even if you don't believe in it, just take the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
Right? Just take that. And who does it hurt?
Nobody.
Absolutely nobody. And nowhere in the 10 Commandments does it say, or the Lord's Prayer, say anything about killing people or, going after and making sure that you're number one in the world. It doesn't say any of that.
No, and if you look at the 10 Commandments, they're just laws that we have. Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not.
They're innately in us.
Be adultery. I mean, all the stuff that we
steal.
Run our lives on, whether you're a Christian or not, you run your life on that. I mean, most people I know don't go around just murdering people.
Yeah.
And most people I know don't go around stealing stuff. It's just good values to have as a person, being moral, right?
It hurts nobody. And, it's like Christmas belongs to the culture of Canada. So we should be allowed to celebrate it. That even includes the Festival of Lights, which used to incorporate Christmas, which is what it was all about. Christmas has disappeared totally from the Festival of Lights. It's gone. No Santa Claus, no nothing. Thanksgiving is thanking God for the harvest, for what you've got, for the great year you've had. And now there's no way it should be under attack. If you'd like to create your own day, which a lot of people already have, a lot of cultures already have, then talk to your governments and see what you can do. But just leave these ones where they are. I mean, they belong to us. We should be able to celebrate and enjoy those holidays and not feel like white privilege.
And not feel like you're insulting a certain group of people who don't believe in Christmas or whatever. Like, this is the thing, right? We've gotten away from this and we've given up everything to foreigners that are invaders, really. You don't let 10 million people into your country.
No.
It's not immigration. Like, we know immigration anyway. Yeah. We had immigration back in the 40s and 50s and whatever. 30s,
that's how we got 20s. Here.
That's how we got here. Well, not me. My family's been here since 1643, so I've been here a long time.
Serious that long? Holy smokes!
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. We came over 1643 from France.
But still immigrants.
Still immigrants at one point, right? Yeah, because, well, part of it is, and then the other part is native. So, I mean, that they were here before anybody.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, that's what they wrote right in there. Giving thanksgiving to Almighty God. That's what they did. And that's what we're trying to get back in these countries, right?
Going to school, and in Canada, we called it multicultural. And in my schools, it was multicultural. We had all different races in there. And when people didn't want to celebrate Christmas, and I had really good friends who were Jewish. If they wanted, they could step outside during those times when we were celebrating Christmas or saying the Lord's Prayer, whatever it was, and then step back in. But we also acknowledged their holy days and the things that they did, and Hanukkah and different things that people did. There was racism, if you want to call it that. It was probably more misunderstanding. And I can tell you, say, how can you talk about that because you're white? I can tell you, as a Ukrainian with a different last name and darker skin, I was beat, bullied, stuck in holes. That's why I'm claustrophobic. I mean, it was brutal what I went through. But I fought through it, and I can tell you, those people that did that to me, well, they paid when I played hockey, but and grew a little bit. But no, we all became friends, and we got an understanding. And we've grown, and Canada was growing, and it was becoming such a great country of true multiculturalism. And all of a sudden, the people who run the world bring back the word racism and white supremacy. And it's not the truth. And what we've done is we've fallen for it. And when you fall for it, slowly but surely, everything gets eroded. What are you left with? Ask yourself, what are you left with if we take all of our cultural values and the things we enjoy celebrating? What happens when we get rid of that? What are you going to enjoy then? What you're going to enjoy is what everybody else that was brought in here starts to celebrate and removes all of the stuff that we have. It's not fair. It's not right. And it's not racism.
It's not Canadian.
No, it's not.
That's not Canada that we know, right? Oh, so I was going to talk about the speed cameras, but I already talked about that the other day. I was going to do it because the school boards are really, really pushing forward the drop his plan to get rid of them. And I still keep making the case that speed is not a problem. It's not a problem where kids are getting hit in front of school. So what are these school boards really, really about when you think about it? They're not about safety, because safety is not an issue. I've never heard of anybody speeding in front of a school and killing anybody, or even getting in an accident. So then what's left? The only thing that's left is cash, is money.
Yeah. Because
there's a lot of different ways to calm traffic where you don't have to hit people with $120 fines.
For being too over.
Yeah,
2 kilometers over.
Well, this is the thing, they say, it dropped them by 9 kilometers an hour. And everybody's going, ooh, that's a lot. It isn't a lot. It's like 3 or 4 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like 3 or 4 miles an hour. So instead of doing 25 through a school zone, you're doing 28 or 29. It's not like they're going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. Now, there are some idiots. I will tell you, there are some idiots, but it's not any camera or anything that's going to stop these idiots from doing what they do.
But even if they do that, is it a safety issue? Are they hitting anybody?
Not so far. No.
Even if they...
How do we make it through the 70s and 80s and 90s without government control and protection and safety? The key word, safety for us. How do we get through all this? How do we get through... My gosh, how do we get through the last
because it was
25 years?
It was never an issue. It's been made an issue, but it was never an issue. I mean, most people, when they go by schools, 99% of them slow down. I mean, they really, really do. You figure the hundreds of thousands of people that drive by schools every day, and 5 or 6 get a ticket, or 10, even 20. It's a very, very, and they're not getting tickets for doing 100 miles an hour. They're going 4 or 5 kilometers over the limit and they get a ticket. So
Ray got one for 2.
Yeah.
2 kilometers over.
Yeah. It's a cash grab. And so that's why Ford's getting rid of it, and everybody else can cry all they want, but they're going. Cash grab's over. There'll be calming measures, flashing lights, and that kind of thing. And I know the people who wanted this big, big cash cow to come in like hitting the jackpot. No, it's not going to happen. So get that out of your head.
And every now and then you could have, other than the days that school open, have some police officers stop by once in a while in an area.
Oh, yeah. Or,
that would definitely make people
flashing
think.
Lights, the signs that say your speed. Most people see that and slow down. Have a cop there every once in a while. I mean, we do pay the cops $213 million in their budget. They can't sit a cop there once a day.
Yeah.
Or once a week, once a month, just to have a presence where people don't know if he's there or not. And
not just for the first day of school.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Another speed camera scam. There's so many of them.
Plot thickens.
Yeah. Patrick Brown, he's in another scam here. And you thought Niagara Falls was bad with the Innovation Hub, the University of Niagara Falls, and the $11 million we spend on land for the hospital.
Yeah.
that I think we overpaid for.
Pretty sure we did.
We got scammed good on that one.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
I don't know, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe. When they first started thinking about the hospital, the family donated the land,
Yes.
but they just didn't donate quite enough. So the city had to buy the parcel next to the one they gave us for $11 million, which was probably $4 or $5 million over market value. But we had to have it if we're going to build this thing.
So you asked the question, why didn't we just rebuild it where the hospital is here?
I don't know.
And went across the road there. And
we got lots of room there.
Yeah, tons of room, centrally located, easy access off the highway. And most people in Niagara can get to it pretty quick.
So get this. Patrick Brown, who's the mayor of Brampton, he decides that they needed a huge processing center for the speed camera photo processing so they could look at these things and issue tickets. So he decided to make a prominent businessman in the city a lot of dough on a closed door deal, and like a lot. Would you like to guess how much that businessman made from this little deal? A buddy of Patrick Brown's.
Is it $1 million?
Is it over $1 million? Yes.
Wow.
Is it over 20 million?
Come on.
Yes. Is it over 30 million?
Yes.
Is
it under 40?
No.
It's over 40.
It's over 40. $45 million.
Oh my gosh. Think about that.
Well, how did Patrick Brown accomplish this? Well, he bought an overpriced building for $77.9 million from this guy who 3 years earlier, and that was nominated for Businessman of the Year 2 days before the deal by Patrick Brown.
I'd give him that right now. He's made a great deal. Greatest businessman of all time in the area.
Well, he bought the property for $32.5 million. 3 years later, he flipped it to Patrick Brown for $77.9 million.
Almost doubled it.
2.5 times it. Wow. Now, Patrick Brown saw money in processing his own speed cameras for the city and wanted to buy a building, so he bought this behemoth from Bikram Dillon. And for 2.5 times what he paid for it 3 years before, all in closed door meetings. Now, you wonder how people become rich in real estate?
Oh, my. Yeah. And a few sidewinders that start looking like they got more money in their pockets, too. Yeah.
Now you know the rest of the story. You let politicians give you a beautiful $45 million profit after only 3 years. Now that, Peter, would buy my Rolls Royce right there.
Yeah. And you could drive it out like Derek Sanderson did when he bought his.
Yeah,
right out the window.
Of course, the taxpayers get it right in the balls.
And worse.
And now the fund that has been bean counters savings for rainy days gone. He spent it all, gave it to his buddy. And to stick it even more to the taxpayers of Brampton, who are probably all Vic Graham's friends, speed cameras are going the way of the posties now. So he bought this big camera facility. And the building's going to stay empty. There's no need for the illegal cash processing center now, right? So that's that. So they take a double hit the taxpayers. Now, Brown, the ultimate politicians, insist the city needed the building. And they got the best deal for the building.
Oh, yeah. Who got the best deal?
And of course, it's not only now he's not only kicking them in the balls, right? He's laughing at them.
Oh yeah, all the way to the bank,
making fun of them.
You know, in a depressed real estate market, how did the value go up 2.5 times? That's great business. Businessman of the year.
Yeah, creative accounting. Well, he is. You're taking the city for that much. And I mean, like, as an appraisal of $65 million came in, so it did go up. But real estate experts say that's even a little high. But hey, when it's not your money, what's $10 million here or there?
It's nothing. You could build for $10 million, another $7 million. You could build a couple of sidewalks.
But you gotta wonder, right? He got Man of the Year because he gave $10 million to the hospital there.
Uh-huh.
Whose $10 million did he give? Did he give his own from the sale? Or was there a little deal made? Listen, well, I'm going to get you 77 million, but 10 million's got to go to the hospital, and then we'll name you businessman of the year. I mean, these are the crooked things that these guys do. That's
Plus, you get to write off the 10 million.
Yeah,
over a number of years, right?
Of course, you write it off.
Yeah,
because it's a charitable donation. But see, you ask me why I sit here and continually talk about city council and $17 million trails and $17 million exchanges and $25,000 concrete ping pong. You wonder why? It's because stuff like this happens with your money. And somebody's got to ask the questions. And I would really be asking Patrick Brown about this one. As a matter of fact, I might even suggest that an integrity commission report takes a look at if there's some double dealing going on here.
Hey, they had the integrity people after Mr. Trudeau. He
indict him like Comey.
Nothing. Oh, yeah. But what's going to happen to these people?
Well, he's going to trial in 60 days.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you were just given a $45 million windfall from the mayor, yeah, you'd donate $10 million, right? Why not?
It's a great deal.
Anyway, this isn't some kind of isolated incident. We see it all the time. These guys are laughing all the way to the bank, and taxpayers always take it on the chin.
And why don't we know that? Why is it because you look at your property tax and you can't equate to that kind of money, saying, "Well, I only pay this, and it was only this much increase." What does that have to do with what he just got? Because they keep digging in your pockets till eventually you go, "Oh my goodness, I don't have any money." You don't have any money right now. You still think you do because you're still using credit. And then you go, "What happened?" Well, what happened is nobody stood up. And that doesn't mean you have to march down the streets, although I'd like to see Canadians do that. Call your local council, call your MPP, call your MP, and keep doing it. And if everybody does that, things start to change.
Exactly.
Actions.
But it's up to us to be watchdogs. Somebody's got to be the watchdogs. And it's the people, because it's your money. Like, this isn't Patrick Brown's money he gave to this guy. It's your money. Well, not our money, because we're not in Brampton.
It's their money.
But it's their money.
Yeah.
And if it was Niagara Falls, it's our money.
Yeah.
So whenever they spend anything, and to do it in a closed meeting of council behind closed doors, like, that's not transparency. So what is it? To me, it's just fraud or something. He should be investigated for this.
Yeah, it won't happen.
No, it won't happen.
It won't happen.
Okay, I got to get to my second sponsor, one of your favorites, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And I always tell you about pizza, that what I like about pizza is consistency. When somebody makes a good pizza, I like to have it the second time good, the third time good. I like to go there and know I'm getting a good pizza. And when you use an old Mancini family recipe for crust and sauce, when you use the finest cheeses blended, when you use quality, fresh toppings, how can you get a bad pizza? You can't. Now, once they throw it in that oven, they know how to cook it. You got a winner. And that's what Pete's Pizza does time after time after time. But not only with pizza, with wings, with poutine, with steak and cheese poutine, steak sandwiches, and now, and you've had this.
I just had it at the grand opening of the new place.
Yeah, there you go. Chicken parm sandwich.
Oh, boy. They are outrageous.
They're good. And so, I mean, this is what we expect from a pizza joint, and that's what they deliver every time. And they've opened a new pizzeria up on Stone Road in Kaler for the Northwest people in Niagara Falls. Congratulations. You got yourself a great pizza pie out there now. And they do it consistently. And what more can you ask? 905-374-2222 to order your pizza. I got to get the number for the new place. I keep saying that and I never do. But just go to Pete'sPizzaVictoria.ca. All the information is there. You can use Skip and Dine and all the other services. They all work with Pete's Pizza. Order your pizza today. It's Friday. You know you want one. We're giving Thanksgiving for good pizza.
Yeah, and guess what? Great hours, which you don't get in the north end of Niagara. Great hours.
Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday and Saturday, and midnight during the week.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
I got to meet Reno Mancini.
Yeah, Reno's great. I've known him for a long time.
And he was telling me that the pizza recipe sauce, for the sauce recipe, is top secret.
Oh, yeah.
It's top secret.
I believe that. Yeah, I've known Reno for a long time. I'm sorry I couldn't go to that. I had the show to do, and then I go see my mother on Wednesdays at the home. But I would like to go there because I know Reno. He's a really good guy.
He's a great guy.
I used to hang around with the guy up in Shirkston. I had a place at Shirkston, and he had a place next door to me.
Great guy.
So we became really good friends.
Super guy, and there was so much food there that we all gained a few
Well,
pounds.
Reno, he looks like he enjoys his pizza too, right?
Not commenting on that.
No, he knows his stuff, that guy.
Yeah.
He looks like a guy who knows
He's
pizza.
solid. Yeah.
He is solid. So anyway, let me ask you a question, Peter.
Okay.
Is there any segment of the workforce that you know of that hasn't gone on strike? Can you think of one that hasn't gone on strike?
No.
I'm going to tell you another one. I found another one.
No.
Yep. Just when you thought we've seen strikes from every single union in existence in Ontario, in Canada, another one pops up. We've seen planes.
Yeah.
We've seen trains. We've seen automobiles. We've seen public service unions, workers' unions, even the dinosaur-like posties. What can possibly be left?
Same or Seaway.
I think that was
Both.
on strike too.
Oh, of course it was, yeah.
Well, the union representing the part-time support staff workers at Ontario public colleges, a union that I never even heard of, says, hold my beer. We went in on the strike action. So 10,000 of these part-time workers are holding a strike vote amid an ongoing strike by full-time staff at these colleges. And it never ends. What do they want? Well, you got to ask Noor Iskandar.
Okay.
You got to ask Noor.
He's the guy that knows.
He's the chair of the college part-time support bargaining team. These poor slobs that work part-time have been working under an expired agreement since January of 2024, so almost 2 years. The demands are many. Paid sick days, canceled shift pay, and of course, the granddaddy of all bargaining, money.
Lots of it.
Lots of money. More money. Noor accused the college employer council of dragging out negotiations. 2 years would be dragging it out a bit. But then again, a 6% annual wage increase. Now, who gets a 6% annual wage increase? I don't know anybody.
I don't either. Maybe politicians. They
That's
keep that secret, though.
Politicians and union members, they're the only ones. Nobody else does. They want an additional 2% in vacation pay. They want 5 sick days per year. Now, they're only working part-time. What do they need sick days for?
Exactly.
For all part-time employees, and those demands have made the college think. We're talking about part-time employees here. The colleges say demands go beyond what colleges are prepared to pay in the current financial climate, and rightly so. This economy sucks for everybody, colleges included. They're not exempt from inflation and everything else going on, and tax increases and everything else. Now, Noor.
Yes.
It says that they're ready to negotiate at any time.
That's great.
But right after that, she says, is it a she or a he?
I guess
she.
It must be a she.
That's what I got written down. She says they're going on strike. So she says they're ready to negotiate at any time, but they're going on strike. So yeah, with the mediator there, where's the mediator to solve this problem? Now, are there any union stuff that haven't been threatened to go on strike or have gone on strike in the last 2 years? Is this the last one?
Oh, there's probably somebody somewhere that could do it,
Well, hold your breath.
The great thing is, I think what they're looking for, and so deserve it, is that they want the same wage as your full-time staff without putting in the hours.
Could be.
Yeah. Now, the reason my wife ended up working in the United States of America, she's a nurse, was that she worked in a hospital, St. Catherine's General, for 11 years as a part-time on-call nurse, working more than 40 hours every single week. Do you know why they did that?
Benefits?
No benefits, no pay increases. And now these guys want it all. Part-time.
They want it all, just like Bogey and Bacall. We had it all. Well, you know what? Here's the thing.
There's only so much money to go around in this world.
Yeah, the politicians they're not interested in giving them raises. 6%. They're not willing to do that. That's where there are so many part-time senior retirees. They have to go back to work to make ends meet because we don't get 6% increases every year.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
We get cost of living or
If you're lucky,
or whatever,
you're
CPI or whatever
Yeah.
the hell they do. But and the colleges are saying no, we can't anymore. And I don't know. I haven't seen their books or anything if they're just playing games with them or if this is something real. So we'll see what happens. But
what kind of wage are they getting paid?
I don't even know.
It'd be interesting.
I don't even know. They're part time, so who knows? But at the end of the day, doesn't matter what they're getting paid. They want 6% more and 2% for what do they say, vacation pay. And of course, they want their jobs guaranteed. The usual stuff, guaranteed of the
Full
jobs,
benefits.
full benefits, and everything else. I know that most of the people who work for colleges they get paid pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you and
They're
I
not making $17.
We work for ourselves, and we had to work for every dime we got.
Yeah, and that's why I have nothing.
Exactly.
I think I would have been better out just working for an hourly wage for 40 years and getting a good pension.
When you look back and you get a pension, right? You work for yourself, you got no pension.
Now, I wouldn't have had as much fun.
Yeah. And,
right?
And done what you love.
And done the way I'd done all my life, but yeah. So anyway, there you go. That's the story on that. Another strike, another day, another strike. So who knows who's next? I don't know. Like I gotta just look at any union that hasn't gone on strike. They're probably next. Let me put it that way. Everybody's grabbing a piece of the pie when there's no more pie.
I know. There is no pie.
There is no pie.
It's all been taken up to the top. Maybe the union of people who walk the streets.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe that. Yeah, it could be. That could be the next union.
Parity. You need parity.
Parity. Oh, so it appears President Donald Trump has a ceasefire.
Oh, you said the word. Place. You said the word Trump. Oh my gosh! I battled that this week.
Well, this is a big Trump show right here.
Yeah.
I should have worn my Doge T-shirt today. So he's got a ceasefire in Gaza, and it's in effect right now. What a brilliant negotiator he is.
Yeah.
After all this, he's managed to get them together and have a ceasefire there. The Israeli military said today the ceasefire agreement with Hamas came into effect today at noon local time, so noon Gaza time. And that would have been probably around 10 hours ago or something like that, right, when it went into effect. So that's fantastic. And troops were withdrawing to the agreed upon deployment lines. And, President Trump has worked really, really hard at negotiating peace around the world. And anybody that criticizes him for what he's done with it, whether it be Ukraine, Russia, or anything, he wants peace. Now, peace can only come if the two sides want peace.
Correct.
And if they don't, there's nothing he can do. He can't. It's not his decision. They have to come to an agreement. He can only help them. He can only mediate it. And he uses his tariffs and force that he has, sanctions and stuff, to try to move them to the peace table. He's a very smart negotiator. He always has been. He always will be. That's why you see Carney coming home with nothing.
Empty-handed, with his head down.
He said, really? He says, Carney is a very good negotiator, tough. And they said to him, well, if he's so tough, why didn't he get a deal? Because Trump says, because I'm a tough negotiator too.
Tougher. Tougher. How many people have said that Trump is in it just for himself and his billionaire buddies?
Everybody everybody with TDS that I know.
Does the truce help his billionaire buddies? Does peace help his billionaire buddies? I just put that question out there. I would imagine some of his billionaire friends are involved in the military industrial complex. Wouldn't they be?
Yeah, and they would want war.
Yeah, they want war all the time. They've started war. I mean, so obviously he's done something wrong.
Yeah, peace doesn't work well for the military industrial complex.
Not at all.
They make their money on war by supplying arms. They play both sides against the middle. But Trump wants peace. That's what he had when he was in his first term, and now that's what he's trying to achieve again. And Netanyahu has nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize again.
Yeah.
And if he can hold this ceasefire, if this ceasefire holds, this is going to be huge. Everybody's crying about the slaughter in Gaza. They all forget about October 7th. And now there's truce. The people in Gaza are starting to work their way to the northern cities and southern cities because it's safe again. Um, Israeli's cabinet has approved President Trump's plan for peace and ceasefire. The release of all remaining hostages that are dead or alive, and the release by Israel of all Palestinian prisoners is also part of the deal. We're seeing the start of it now. There remains a lot of unanswered questions, including who will govern Gaza. And he said he wants to appoint an interim council made up of one Tony Blair.
Not loving that. I'm not loving that one.
Where you got that guy from?
I'm not a Blair fan ever.
No. And whether and how Hamas will disarm, because we know that they don't give up their weapons lightly.
It's not their belief.
Yep, they're a proxy of Iran, which is the biggest supporter of state terrorism in the world. and once they give up the hostages, that's basically their leverage done over anybody.
Does that mean the smoke bombing of Murray Hill will stop now?
I would hope it means that any Palestinians that are here because it was unsafe are going to be sent home to help rebuild their country.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make sense?
That would make a lot of sense.
That would make a lot of sense. So if you send them out of here, get them out of here, and Trump's after Antifa around the world, they declared them a terrorist state. That means you're going to clean up those terrorists and that funding. And if you do that, then there should be no more protests.
I had somebody say to me yesterday, straight up saying, Trump's the problem. Trump's the problem with Canada. And would you like to be somebody in Chicago when they send in the National Guard? I would say, if I was in the places where there's major problems, I would love for him to send in the National Guard and ICE. I would love it. And I said, so what do you think? No, that's just so he can take over. I said, so where are you getting your information? And I said, are you watching CNN? No, I don't watch CNN. Well, what are you doing? Well, I watch CBC. I said, what? And he said, it's the most honest, just like the BBC, place you can get information. I said, who funds the CBC? Well, some of it from us. I said, no, they get over $1 billion. No, they don't. It's only 323 million. I said they get funded. I think it's even going to be more this year.
I think it was 700 or 800 billion 10 years ago.
Yeah. So
or
he
not
said,
billion,
absolutely
million.
not. It's the most and it's our culture, and you have to trust it.
Yeah, well, guess what? They're the biggest left wing bunch of propaganda, and I have a hard time even watching CHCH because they are so anti-Trump and TDS infected.
Well, they've all been given money by the federal government, by all of them. You cannot run an organization and stay as a barometer for the government if the government is funding you a major part of your funding, of your costs. Look, as a broadcaster who started many years ago, we as broadcasters that were independent despised the CBC. We did, because we had numbers that were blowing them away. Whatever, it didn't matter about their numbers, okay? They just kept getting. So we're controlled by the CRTC, which won't allow us to do certain things. The CBC is running along. It doesn't matter what they do or how their programming is, and they're getting filled with money. So it's wrong, it's unfair, and of course they're going to be biased towards their own government. We had a guy who did news with me at CJRN years ago, back in 78, 79. He went to work for CBC. Back then, pulling the cable behind a camera at a sports game. What do you think he got paid an hour?
Probably $10.
$20 an hour.
$20
back then. That was massive money.
$20 an hour. I forgot. That's CBC.
Yes,
they're way overpaid. Yeah. You know, it's funny because a place like CBC, this show couldn't exist.
Absolutely not.
It'd be impossible. They would not let me talk conservatively.
It is a total propaganda organization. Always has been controlled, has been controlled to make sure that you don't. I mean, there was a time when they did give you both sides of the stories as far as, political parties and stuff. Not anymore. They're straight up.
Yeah, and they're not even shy about it. They'll tell you.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Everything is negative about Trump. Everything is negative about anything. And of course the left wing radicals, whatever they do, whether it's AOC or Bernie Sanders or Biden. I mean, they all knew he was not even in his right mind, but they still kept pumping him up. Biden did this, Biden did that. Oh, he fell. Well, everybody falls once in a while.
On my computer, as soon as I open it up on the internet, up comes, I think it's MSN or whatever it is, comes up there. It is always biased against conservatives. It's always biased against. It's just continually pushing this thing about Trump. Get Trump out of your minds. He has nothing to do with where our country sits. Remember, I mean, that's the biggest mistake Polyev made. He listened to the wrong people in the last month of his campaign by listening and saying, yeah, we got to start blaming Trump. No, you blame Trudeau and the Liberals for where this government sits. Bad negotiation, stealing money, carbon tax, which is now the clean air tax, which is, as you can see, the skies are as clear can be. You don't get any residue on your vehicles anymore since they put that in. Have you noticed? Wrong. I got black stuff all over my car. But we bought into this crap and they keep diverting you to Trump and the tariffs. There's one reminder I'm going to tell people, and I told this to a guy the other day who was absolutely adamant against Trump, and Trump's ruined our country. I said, if you were Donald Trump, and let's say you're not Donald Trump, but you're now the president of the United States, and you realize just a couple of years ago, there was 6,000 to 10,000 Chinese troops running through the northern woods of Ontario. Do you recall that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're up in Alberta or somewhere.
And they're also in Ontario.
Oh, they're in northern Ontario?
Yeah, and there was guys who filmed them who thought we were being invaded. Now, those videos are all long gone. But Trudeau had to admit a couple months later, yes, we did have them here, but they were using our area for training because of the cold and the terrain. Well, they've got Arctic all the way down to warm weather in China, right? And the worst terrain that we'll ever have in Canada. So if you're sitting there as president of the United States and you're going, Canada's got Chinese soldiers in full regalia running through the northern parts of Canada, what would you think?
I think they were in cahoots.
And then there's the other theory.
That's what I would think right away.
And then the other theory is fentanyl doesn't come through the border of Canada. Wrong.
No, that's absolute nonsense. That's absolutely nonsense. They're still getting tons of it in, and the southern border's closed. Where's it coming from?
Yeah. It's still coming from Mexico.
Hey, they're lucky they haven't declared Canada a terrorist state because of the way their open border policies work, and there's so many floating around in Canada.
Blame our country and us and the people that run our country for where we are. Nobody else is to blame. Nobody.
So we're going to see if this ceasefire holds.
I think it will.
And if it does, well done, President Trump. Job well done. You worked hard at it. And the rebuild of Gaza can begin. And like I say, every Palestinian in this country who came over under refugee status should be sent home immediately to help build their country.
Yep. Because
the war is over. Okay, so maybe they will. I don't know. Probably not. I can't see Carney doing that. He'll bring more in. Come on.
Yeah.
You're not terrorists anymore.
It's a crazy world out there.
So back in the U.S., I'm going to talk about chili con carnage in a minute, but I got to get to my third sponsor before the end of the show, Hamel Machine Company. And, whenever a business comes into any city, anywhere, they look for good machine shops. Why? Because when they break down, they need their equipment fixed. They need it fixed right. They need it fixed fast because time is money. When you break down and you're not producing anything, you're losing money. So Hamel Machine Shop, been in Niagara Falls since 1948. This is what they specialize in. They've helped the food industry. They've helped the wine industry. They've helped the agricultural product industry. That's what they do. And when they go in to fix something, they don't just fix it. They don't just re-engineer the part if they can't fix it with their 3D printers and water jet cutters. No, what they do is try to make it better, try to make it more efficient, try to make it work better. Because when it works better and there's more production, you know what happens? Revenue goes up. That's what good machine shops do. That's what Hamel Machine Shop has been doing since 1948.
Wow.
And if you go to their website, hamelmachine.ca, you're going to see the innovations they've created for the wine industry, for the food product industry, for the agricultural product industry. But they haven't forgot about us, Peter.
Yeah.
You spin the keyway on your lawn, your snowblower. Guess who can recut the channel and put a new one in for you? Hamel Machine Company. You want new gates for your backyard? Hamel Machine Company can fabricate, design. They do it all. They have the staff, they have the technology, and they have the people who are skilled to be able to do this kind of work. And you know what? Hey, maybe they'll make metal doors for the back of your house.
I should go talk to them.
Yeah, Bob Benner. Yeah, so there you
Bob,
go.
I'm coming over.
Hamel Machine Company, Support our sponsors. They support the show. Thank them very much. And by the way, if anybody out there wants to market their company on this show, give me a call. Email me, paul@americogigo.ca. Call me, 905-353-7560, or message me through Facebook. Just let me know. You'd be surprised at how inexpensive it is to advertise on this show and have me talk about your company every day of the week.
Yeah.
Plus, it appears on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Truth Social every day. Besides, so if you're looking to market your company, you don't have a lot of funds, and you want some good, solid marketing for your company, with me talking about it, hey, just give me a call. Let's get somebody in on this. I have one more opening for an advertiser. Give me a call today. Check in, and we'll talk about it.
Good value.
Okay, well, it is.
No,
it is
really
for I don't just say, hey, I'm a machine company, and then I'm out of here. No, we talk about the
other thing about you is you investigate who you have on the show. Like, you're not just bringing somebody on because of money.
No, if that was the case, that pizza. I mean, I said I got to try your pizza before I even put you on my show, because if I don't like your pizza, you're not coming on the show.
And he means it.
And I told Mike that, and Mike said, "Oh, come and have a pizza." And I snuck in there. I sent Liz, and I don't go in myself because I don't want them to know I'm checking them out.
Yeah.
And Liz brought it home. I had the pizza, and I go, "Wow, this is friggin' good." And that's how I can't advertise for someone where my heart's not in their company, right? If I don't,
Yeah, well, I'm with you.
Yep. So you got to be honest about it.
And of course, they sponsored our big show with Pete and Ray, and we did the same thing.
Yeah,
had to taste it.
Yep, they're fantastic. They're really good. Okay, back in the U.S., Chili Con Carne is calling his trip to Washington a success.
What, did he made it there safely and made it back?
I don't know what the success was, although it really was just a big failure. But he did wear a red tie to honor Trump. He said, "I'm wearing a red tie to honor you, Mr. Trump."
Why would he do that?
And Trump's calling him Mark. Hey, Mark's a good guy over here. Like, he's some guy. He just wandered in off Pennsylvania Avenue or something. So while Chili was bending over, a court in the Eastern District of Virginia indicted Letitia James, charging her with bank fraud under 18 United States Code Section 1344 and false statements to a federal financial institution under 18 USC Section 1014.
That's pretty serious, by the way. That really is.
Well, 30 years you could get on each charge, and $1 million minimum fine on each charge. Big time serious. And that's the same thing that she fabricated the charges against Trump for.
Yeah,
imagine that.
Can you imagine? First of all, they undervalued his property, Mar-a-Lago. They undervalued it, right?
They said it was worth $18 million.
Not even close.
The thing's over $1 billion.
And then he paid all these banks off, and it was still going against him.
There's no victim.
None.
No victim. The banks lend him the money. They have their own assessors. They go in and look at the property. They don't take his opinion. And he paid them back every cent with interest. And they're welcoming him back. Yeah, he can come back anytime and get millions of dollars. He's a good client.
But you know what they're going to say? Oh, it's just Trump getting revenge. Well, no. She did what she did illegally. And she's now got caught doing illegal things. And she needs to pay for doing those things.
Well, Letitia James said when she ran for a district attorney that her goal, if she gets elected, is to get Trump.
Take him down, take his business down.
Now, you can't get any more explicit about your reason for running. And when you actually do it.
Or try to do it.
Because everything's been dropped anyway now.
She's paying the price. And you think people aren't going to go look at what you did? Because what you were doing with Trump was illegal to begin with. Now people are going to start looking into you.
Of course.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg with her. Believe me when I tell you, that's the tip of the iceberg.
And then they
start following her money trails.
I mean, there's ample proof that she did this. Her signature's on these forms and everything. So she's going down. And she's going to be in orange with Comey. And then the next guy you're going to see indicted is Shifty Schiff. He's going down too with these guys. There's going to be a whole whack. They're falling like dominoes.
Now, there is somebody who said to me, because I can't stand Shifty Schiff, that he's actually on our side. He's on Trump's side. He's just a really good plant. That would shock the crap out of me.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think
just
so
done
either.
So much against Trump.
If he is, he played a great part.
Well, if he is, he played a great part, and whoever thought of having him and scheming this is a genius.
I know. Just his eyes alone, you just want to punch him in the head.
Oh, shifty shift. He's something else, this guy.
Yeah,
But he's going to.
Oh, please. Just send them all out of here and let's get back to business. I don't know if you're going to get back to business in Canada. I don't know if Canada can be resurrected. I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't think it can, because I don't think you can elect a conservative or somebody who wants to change things. There's just the demographics in Canada have changed to the point now where conservatism is a thing of the past. It's dead, because all the groups that want what they want and get what they want are not going to vote for somebody who's going to take away their golden goose. All the money these groups are getting, special interest groups, immigrants, you've got all the public service union who get sweetheart deals from the government. Like, they're not going to vote against someone whose goal, whose mandate is to give them as much as they can.
Here's the question I'm going to ask. When they run out of money and they can't fulfill your social needs, what are you going to do then?
Well, then they're going to go to socialism. Right? So that's the way it goes. And
that's how it works.
At the end of the day, that's what they want. I mean, we have a whole group of people who want to put Sharia law into effect in Canada.
Yeah.
And if you look in the States, you have whole cities that have been taken over. In Dearborn, Michigan, calls to prayer on public microphone speakers.
Yeah.
All over the city, 5 times a day, this call to prayer goes out. They've taken over Dearborn. They've taken over Hamtramck. They've taken over cities where Oman or whatever, Ilan Oman is in the Congress. They've been in Minnesota. The Somalians have taken over it because Obama imported 100,000 of them and put them in one city.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going on in the States. Trump is going to stop it, but it's going on right now. And it's going on in Canada, too. Go to Mississauga and Brampton.
The problem with this in Canada is that they have full support of the Liberal government and funding. They get away with paying taxes. I was told by somebody yesterday who said they were in the know that Tim Hortons only had to pay the people they brought in there if they're immigrants was $5 and some 87 cents an hour. The rest was subsidized, and that was good for 3 years. And after 3 years, they were being fired. Now, I heard that from somebody who was involved in the business. I don't know if that's true, but I know they were being subsidized.
Yeah, and that's why white people can't get a job there. You don't see whites anymore.
Everybody needs a fair chance, and the fair chance is if you're qualified, you get to come in and work. I asked the question? How do kids of today get summer jobs? How? Kenny, who were born and raised there, how do they survive?
I talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Where was it? I got to remember. Talked about so much stuff, but basically they told University of Waterloo, they use DEI to hire people, and they said cisgender males.
What is that?
Straight males are not eligible to apply for the jobs.
Can you imagine?
Now, if that was, they said blacks or Muslims or anything else, they did this to them, this would be called racism right off the bat.
100%.
Against whites, no, but see, DEI, those quotas, it doesn't bring in the best of the best. So you wonder why these kids are screwed up in these universities and educational systems? That's why. You're not getting the best. You're filling quotas.
Yeah, debt coming out their ears. And if not their debt, their parents' debt, who have to pay these absorbent amounts to go to school every single year, plus put them up somewhere. So who's reaping the benefits? The government. Who's giving our money away? The government. Everywhere but where it belongs. Yeah. Right here.
Yeah, they cry about hospitals not having money. Tony Galuzzo, a buddy of mine, put on today that he did some math and he figured out how much stuff would cost. And we're talking about MRI machines and CAT scanners. And he figured that the shortage that we have in Canada can be solved with $1 billion. And meanwhile, they're writing checks for $10 billion to foreign countries to help them. Why not just take $1 billion, which is 1/10 of what they're giving away, and put it to Canada to get these MRI machines and that, so you don't have to go at 3 a.m. to Mississauga to have an MRI. I mean, it's just common sense stuff.
Well, with MAID being brought in, you don't have to worry about keeping the money here, because if you're having a problem, just kill yourself.
Yeah, there you go. Just check out.
I still can't.
Check out time.
I still can't believe that. I can't believe
I
they told that to people with PTSD soldiers. I can't believe it. And they want to expand it. They want to take it down to a lower age. Killing yourself. The government's in the business of killing people. Think about that. There are representatives and they're supporting this.
I don't think that's a Christian value.
Not even close. No. See, there's another good point to be in the Christian world. None of that. That's not allowed.
Yeah, it's not allowed. Anyway,
one quick thing though, and we're not.
Go ahead.
We're not going to have time to go through this, but I need you to pay attention to this. If you're listening or watching, please go and check out Bill C2, Bill C8, Bill C9, Bill C63. They're going in big chunks now, grabbing your freedoms off the internet, what you say, how you say it. You've got to look into these. You really, really do. There's been a video going around with John Carpe from the Justice Center of Constitutional Freedoms. Guy's amazing. He knows his stuff. If you can find him, look him up. John Carpe. Look what's going on in this country and what they're going to do. And if you think for 1 second that it's about safety and the safety of this country, it's the biggest lie ever. We never had to have any of this stuff, put on us. Make sure that everything we do, they're going to go to the point where they can take your mail from the posties and they can go through it. They can go through your personal. Why do you need to go through our personal mail when you've got people who are robbing, thieving, breaking into jewelry stores, not being put in jail, getting involved in all kinds of things? I could not believe some of the stuff that's happened pedophilia-wise in this Niagara region, in Niagara Falls, in Welland. And these people aren't walking on bail. And yet, if you happen to say something a couple of years ago and your neighbor feels fear that it could create something in hate, you can go to jail. You can have the, what do you put? They put the collars on your, around your
house arrest.
Look into these, please. And when you read it, get your eyes open or listen to John, get to your MP, liberal, NDP, conservative, whoever it is, please go there. Well, I don't want to protest that. No, just call. Just make a simple phone call.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about mail, though, because there's...
I looked at that and went, what?
The posties are delivering Wendy's coupons, so you get them and you're considered a terrorist or something. And they're not delivering anything right now anyway, so... Okay, I got to get out of here, Peter. We're past witching
It's
hour.
Thanksgiving, man.
It's Thanksgiving.
I'm so thankful.
Yeah, you got to be thankful. I won't be doing a show on Monday. Look for me back with Trash Talking Tuesday. Peter will be in again next Friday, so look for that. And then we have Absolutely on Wednesday, and Trash Talk or Straight Talk Thursday on Thursday next week. But for Monday, we won't be doing a show. Tomorrow is my good buddy Kevin Mancuso's birthday.
Come on, the Chopper? I just ran into him at Camiso's the other day.
It's Chopper's birthday,
Nice.
So I'll be celebrating that with him tomorrow, and I'll be with family for Thanksgiving, like you will be too. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Don't drink and drive. Avoid those one-eyed bandits. Don't get any tickets, and most of all, be safe out there. God bless you all. Support our sponsors: Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Hamill Machine Company. Promises made, promises kept. See you Tuesday at noon sharp. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Peter, and your family.
You as well.
To everybody out
Happy
there.
Thanksgiving. God bless us, our country, and our Thanksgiving.
And we will see you on Trash Talking Tuesday at noon sharp. Have a great Thanksgiving weekend, everyone.